Hey, MacDowin here. Today we are taking a look at the exclusive, elusive, troublemaking action figure of late, and that is the surprise Major Bludd of G.I. Joe Classified Series. I say surprise because this one popped out of nowhere about a month or so ago. No announcement from Hasbro, no nothing. It was just all of a sudden on eBay for like $20,000, which quickly got canceled. It was a very crazy day when this figure showed up on eBay, to a lot of people's kind of surprise, but kind of not. We were expecting this figure, but it showed up and nobody from Hasbro would say anything about this figure. It was such a confusing, hectic moment. Why wouldn't they speak about this figure? Yet here it is, and it's before their Yo-Jo June announcement. It was crazy. It was so strange. The whole debacle, and I do call it a debacle. I think it's a debacle. And I could come up with a few ideas, but I'm not going to make excuses on their behalf because I could probably do that. I will let them explain, hopefully in June, if they will, why they didn't announce this figure, but we knew it was coming. Why they wouldn't admit to it. Anyway, we're here about the figure, not about the things around it. I think I've said my piece. It's a very cool looking figure, and yes, it is a Cobra Island exclusive. It is one of those more difficult figures to find, although I was able to find it day one. Well, whatever day one means, because day one was May 18, in my opinion, from what I understood, yet it was released multiple days beforehand. But I was able to, no, I'm sorry, I got it the day after, May 19, and had really pretty good luck, too, finding it. It wasn't hard. I just had to get up at like 3:45 a.m. or be to the store at 3:45 a.m. I want to make sure I was first in line. Get some hand motions in there so you know that I'm actually here talking. Anyway, here is Major Bludd. He's got the unique art that the Classified series has. Every figure has a little bit different art. I don't know that they have used the same person twice yet. So, I mean, the art's kind of cool. The art's kind of becoming the defining portion of this action figure line. Let's get some lights there. It's really cool. It really is a cool art. I just wish, from a personal note, from a personal level, that the art was a lot more consistent, like the old style figures. You know, we had a very nice collective art instead of all these different art styles, because not every style of art meshes with somebody. There may be a few pieces of art that just, for whatever reason, doesn't speak to you and can maybe ruin a figure box for you. So here's the back. We still are looking at Cobra Island. A few more missions there. Here on the right side of the box, we see he's number 27. He's Major Bludd, and here is his iconography. I think it's iconography. The icons that are supposed to tell you something, but you have to know what they mean beforehand. And you have to go to gijoe.com. I'm not going to tell you in this video what they are. I just want to get the figure open. We want to take a look at the figure because he does look cool. Doesn't matter the complications, the problems. He does look like a very nice figure, and let's get him open and find out if that is true. Here we've got Major Bludd and his accessories. We're going to take a look at the accessories real quick, then we'll get a little bit deep dive into the figure. He comes with this pile of dog tags. It's a single piece. It's not like multiple pieces, but it's wrapped around his neck. The original version 1 O-ring figure had this stylized or designed, molded on the figure, but this one has it as a separate, well, dog tag necklace, I guess. It just kind of hooks right there on his head. He comes with a helmet, so he looks a little bit more Major Bludd-ish. I'll do a quick comparison here. It is different than the Cobra Trooper helmet. As you can see, it's got the same general shape and the same general flow, but there are definitely a few things, like the Major Bludd helmet has this little point down here in the front middle, whereas the Cobra Trooper and infantry helmets do not have that. He comes with a backpack that looks pretty basic, nondescript. There is a peg there that will attach to his back. There is a hole here, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But these little rockets that he also comes with right here will attach onto this backpack right there so that he has a place to store them. But one thing I'm noticing that I will warn you about is they fall out very, very easy, really easy. So you're going to want to put these either on the gun or on the backpack and pose him and leave him and never touch him again, or at least never touch the backpack again. But there, I finally got them on, and that's how they look on the backpack. He comes with a gun that you can also attach the rockets to. If you flip this around, there's a peg here, and the peg attaches right here to the hole on the backpack, and there goes a rocket. Extremely easy to fall off, but it will attach just like this. Hasbro made a point to mention in the past that all the accessories that come on a figure, they want them, or all the accessories comes with a figure, they want attached on the figure. So you can display the figure with all the accessories. You don't have these extra things laying around. Maybe that's why we don't get a lot of extra hands. But anyway, this is a pretty, there goes another one. They're really easy to knock out, depending on how you're handling it. But again, a lot of the accessories, they're not really painted. There's one kind of painted accessory, and I'll get to next. But it's a kind of a cool looking gun. I will take this off, and what you can do, there's a hole there in the barrel, and there's a peg kind of at the end of the rocket, and this is what you do. You hook it on, and he's got like this really stretched, really long rocket gun. I don't know how many people are going to display it this way. It's almost a little bit the length is almost a little bit ridiculous in its look. The original, I don't remember, had this long of a rocket gun. If it would have been really cool if you could have slid it in maybe a little bit. Slid it in, but like just hooking it there on the end, that's just a little much. I'm most likely not going to ever display him this way. I'm just going to keep these on the backpack because this way by itself doesn't look bad. It looks pretty good this way. And finally, we have this gun, which I actually think looks pretty cool. I mentioned earlier, this has a bit of a paint app there. This is like the only accessory that actually has a bit of a paint app on it. And that's around here, I guess, for the cylinder that you put bullets in. But I can't really tell. I mean, I don't know what kind of bullets this shoots. It's a very tall, barrel there. I mean, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. I don't have to have realistic guns for my figures. I mean, G.I. Joe, half the time wasn't completely realistic, or if it was kind of more futuristic. So, I mean, something like this I think is pretty cool. I think works just fine. But it is an interestingly very tall barrel. Before we get in to look at the actual figure itself, I just want to take a moment and look at the head sculpt. I think this is a really well done head. Sorry, he's kind of jerking around. I'm just kind of moving around on my table here. But I think he is quite well done in the head sculpt. He's got his signature eye patch, but it's a different kind of eye patch. It almost looks like maybe it's an implant, and that I don't have anything to... Oh, here it is. I hit it. It almost looks like right here there might be some sort of like a cybernetic eye of some sort. Like maybe he can see through it electronically. But the face sculpts on these classified figures are really pretty good, I think, for the most part. They have bits and pieces that make them look like the original action figure from the 80s, the O-ring figures. Some people don't want to admit to that, but most of them look really pretty good. He's got a little bit of white. Put my knife down. Where'd it go? He's got a little bit of white right up here. And one thing I'm noticing is the interest in mohawks from this line. We've got this guy who's kind of got like this mohawk. Gung Ho had a mohawk. But I think the face sculpt really, truly is pretty good on this figure. So now we'll back out and take a look more at the larger figure itself. So here we officially have Major Bludd in all of his glory. As difficult as it might be for some of you to find it, it's still a neat figure. It's still a cool looking figure. I like it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will. If it looks a little tiny bit familiar, you're not mistaken and you're not wrong in that it uses most of the body from Cobra Trooper. And I'll just kind of set them right there side by side. Most of the Major Bludd body is a Cobra Trooper repaint, except there are a few exceptions. And that is, the head is new, the neck into the body is brand new, the boots are new. I won't say legs, but these boots and feet are new. Well, I'm not going to say new. They are different. They're not the Cobra Trooper boots. And the right robotic arm is different. Everything else, the legs, the torso, not the vest, and the left arm is exactly from the Cobra Trooper. So that's why you might see some differences. I don't think that matters too much because I think the figure still looks really cool. I think it works well. I don't mind if the companies want to reuse body parts. That kind of sounded wrong. Reuse figure parts to make new figures if it works. If they're doing it just because, well, I think we'll notice. But I think that you can reuse figure parts and accessories and come up with new figures. In fact, I would be all in on Hasbro attempting to make actual legitimate figures reusing already completed parts and just see what they can come up with that really looks like a legit G.I. Joe figure. I think that would be really pretty cool. So here is his cybernetic arm. I'll zoom in, not zoom in, but we'll bring him a little bit closer to see if I can show that off there just a little bit. It's got an M, I guess, Major, Mars. Let's actually stay focused in here. So either M for Major Bludd or M for Mars. Maybe Destro made this right-sided arm for him. I don't know. He's got a nice looking vest here. If I can keep zoomed in. Need to get this back in the light a little bit more and we'll focus in. But he's got some nice browns, some nice maybe gunmetal grays, dark, not light black of sorts. He's got a hip holster on the right side over here. That will be where he puts this gun right there. Can tuck down there, in there. Can put his dog tags over there. And the issue I have with the dog tags is they don't look like they're natural. They just kind of like poke off his head. You can put it around his neck like that, and they kind of stick out just a little bit. Try to flatten it, and there's something somewhere that kind of sticks out, and I think they look a little clunky. If you try to set them back a little bit around the collar, they do kind of fit around the collar, but it doesn't really stay all that great. You can see it sticks out, and up here it's out just a little bit. It's not nice and smooth and flat. I don't like these. These don't really speak to me, and so I'm going to probably keep them off more. So I need to adjust my camera up here because I'm a little low. So the next can put his helmet on, and he's really looking Major Bloodish now, if you ask me. That really seals the deal because we never saw his hair in action figure form in the past. So having his hat on, that's a big Major Bludd thing. Although I'd be kind of curious to see if anybody customizes this figure, if they can get several extras, but customize this figure into the version 2 and version 3 figures. Those would be his Battle Corps, where he is like black and red. That's version 3. Version 2 would be his supersonic fighters, blue and black. He had some grenades up and down his... And I really like the version 2 Major Bludd quite well. That's one of my favorite Major Bludd figures. Probably because the articulation was pretty good. There's his backpack, and there's the rocket that's already fallen off. See if we can put that back on without the other one falling off. He's just a little clunky, I have to say. You try to put one thing on, something else tries to fall off. So there he is. He can either... Oh no, did I do that? I did this upside down. That's why this isn't looking quite right. Let's flatten him. I think I did that upside down. I think it goes this way because the rockets show better this way, and they're supposed to show a little bit over his back. Yeah, I think it goes this way. So I had it backwards at some point. So we'll put that on. And we can put his gun here, put his helmet on, and then you could display him in some sort of a pose like that, which I think he looks pretty cool if you ask me. You didn't ask me. You're here. I guess you did. I don't know. Then you can have him hold this gun right here, or you could have him hold this gun in the cybernetic arm, like that. There we are. There's Major Bludd, all geared up. That's right, Cobra Commander. I will take the troops. Yes, sir. I will take the troops and go find the Cube of Darkness. That's the best Major Bludd Australian accent I got right now. But anyway, voice. He is cool. He may be difficult if you can get him. I think he's a great addition to your collection. One thing I did a little bit change on him, and that was I pulled his belt down. His belt was up here when I pulled him out of the package, up above his waist piece. And it made it... Okay, I'm taking his backpack off. It made it a little bit difficult, and we'll talk about this in a second, actually, to move back and forth. See, things come off. So I pulled his belt down, and it actually went a little bit lower than I meant it to. I wanted to put this belt on top of that belt so that he has a better range of motion here. This is a bit of a problem right here. This little front stomach armor, when you bend him forward, it kind of either tucks inside or it bunches up. Tucking inside I don't think is bad, but you bend him too much, it'll probably rub down a little bit. It's kind of neat. He's got nothing back here for hindrance, so that's really pretty cool. Otherwise, he's got standard articulation compared to all the other figures. There's this shoulder piece that's attached to the shoulder. You lift his arm up, and he can go up about that high. Stretch it out there. He can go up about that high. So this is a bit of a hindrance. Yeah, but he's pretty cool. I like him. I like this figure. He displays very nicely. Very nicely. Anyway, thank you for stopping by and thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful, enjoyable, a little bit interesting. I'll see you in or I'll just see you next time you watch a video of mine. Have a good day.